If you've ever loved an avoidant partner, you've probably felt the frustration of trying to get close, only to be met with resistance. One moment, they seem warm and connected, and the next, they're distant and unreachable. It can leave you questioning what's really going on. The truth is, avoidants don't fear intimacy because they don't care. They fear intimacy because it feels unsafe. Today, we're going to explore why avoidants struggle with closeness, what's really driving their behavior, and how you can help them feel secure enough to open up without losing yourself in the process. At its core, the fear of intimacy in avoidance is tied to vulnerability. For them, closeness isn't just about love, it's about risk. They associate intimacy with the potential for pain, rejection, or loss of control. These fears often stem from past experiences, such as growing up in environments where emotional needs weren't met or where vulnerability was dismissed or punished. To protect themselves, they learn to rely on independence and to keep others at a distance. When faced with intimacy, avoidants often feel torn between two conflicting desires: the need for connection and the instinct to protect themselves. This inner conflict can lead to behaviors like withdrawing, shutting down emotionally, or even sabotaging the relationship. It's not that they don't want closeness, it's that they've learned to fear what might happen if they let their guard down. What avoidants rarely admit, even to themselves, is that their fear of intimacy often comes with a deep longing for connection. They want to feel close to their partner, but the idea of being truly seen can feel overwhelming. Intimacy requires them to confront emotions they've spent years suppressing, and that's a daunting task. This fear also makes them hypersensitive to perceived pressure or expectations in the relationship. Even well-intentioned efforts to connect can feel like a demand for more than they're ready to give. This doesn't mean they don't care. It means they need time and space to navigate their emotions in their own way. If you want to help your avoidant partner open up, the key is creating an environment where vulnerability feels safe. Start by approaching them with patience and understanding, rather than frustration or urgency. Avoidants are highly attuned to pressure, and any hint of being pushed can trigger their instinct to withdraw. One of the most powerful ways to help an avoidant feel secure is to lead by example. Share your own feelings in a calm and non-demanding way, showing them that vulnerability doesn't have to be overwhelming or dangerous. For instance, saying something like, "I've been feeling a bit distant lately, and I'd love to reconnect with you," invites dialogue without putting them on the spot. Respecting their need for space is equally important. When they pull back, it's natural to feel anxious or hurt, but chasing after them often reinforces their fears. Instead, give them the room they need to process their emotions, while letting them know you're there when they're ready to reconnect. This balance between support and independence helps them feel more in control, which is essential for building trust. Consistency is another crucial element. Avoidants need to see that you're steady and reliable over time, especially when they're feeling vulnerable. Small, consistent acts of care, like listening without judgment or respecting their boundaries, go a long way in helping them feel safe enough to open up. While it's natural to want to help your avoidant partner, there are certain behaviors that can unintentionally make things worse. Avoid framing their fear of intimacy as a problem to fix or as a sign that they're not committed. This kind of language can make them feel judged or inadequate, which reinforces their instinct to withdraw. It's also important to avoid pushing for deep conversations when they're not ready. Forcing them to talk about their feelings or making demands for closeness can feel overwhelming and even threatening. Instead, focus on building trust and connection in smaller, more manageable ways. Lastly, don't neglect your own needs in the process. Helping an avoidant partner open up shouldn't come at the expense of your emotional health. Make sure you're prioritizing self-care and maintaining healthy boundaries to ensure that the relationship remains balanced. As much as you might love your avoidant partner, there may come a point where their fear of intimacy becomes too much for the relationship to bear. If they're unwilling to engage, take accountability, or work toward building trust, it's worth considering whether the dynamic is meeting your needs. Love is a two-way street, and both partners need to feel valued and fulfilled. Walking away doesn't mean you've failed. It means you're choosing to prioritize your own emotional well-being. Sometimes creating space is what both people need to grow, whether that's together or apart. Helping an avoidant partner overcome their fear of intimacy isn't about fixing them or forcing them to change. It's about creating a relationship dynamic where vulnerability feels safe and natural. By approaching them with patience, empathy, and consistency, you can build a connection that balances love with the space they need to feel secure. And remember, your own emotional health matters just as much as theirs. If you'd like to explore more about attachment styles and how to navigate challenging relationship dynamics, I've written several books that provide tools and insights to help you create stronger, healthier connections. You'll find the links to those in the description below. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and share your experiences or questions in the comments. I'd love to hear your thoughts.